What is up, blockchain gang? This is Danny Draghi, and no, this is not clickbait. I do not believe that Dark Eden M is the best play-to-earn game ever, but I do think that they have one of the best play-to-earn systems that have ever been created. That being said, it is far from perfect, as there are dozens of things that I could change to improve on that, and I will cover those. I made this video in hopes that developers of blockchain games take notice of these designs before implementing their own systems, as well as give players a guide of what to look for and potentially what to avoid based on their playstyle and financial situation. This will hopefully serve as a solid template for reviewing future blockchain games as well, but first, let me back up a bit because I know there are going to be people in the comments that watch the first 40 seconds of this video and comment, "Bad graphics." A traditional video game consists of two parts: the video or visual fidelity part and the gameplay part. For example, Battlefield 2042 may be a beautiful game, but if it plays like crap, it will still be considered a bad game by most. That is because each of these categories are not only subjective, but their significance varies from person to person. If you spent $5,000 on a cutting-edge gaming machine, you may prioritize the graphical portion of video games higher than someone on a 10-year-old potato with onboard graphics. Likewise, a casual gamer may not be as concerned with perfectly balanced gameplay mechanics or pay-to-win aspects of a game as a hardcore gamer that turns everything into a pissing contest. My point is that with blockchain video games, we added a third element to the equation that we must consider when choosing which games to play. Even if a game has both great video and game elements, it can still be ruined by poor implementation of the blockchain. So this video essay will be discussing the various methods used by games in order to accomplish this and why I think Dark Eden M, or DEM, is the best anyone has come up with to date. Before we dive into what makes DEM's system so different and amazing to me, I would like to define a few characteristics of a blockchain game that we can use to differentiate one system from another in hopes of measuring the impact they have in the success or failure of the in-game economy and the impact on the game itself. The biggest variable I've seen is pay-to-play versus free-to-play. The first option requires the purchase of a token or NFT in order to play and earn in the game, while the second option may offer these for sale but do not require an initial purchase to play or earn. The main trade-off here is that pay-to-play projects are riddled with scams and rug pulls, while free-to-play projects are overrun with bots and cheaters. I look forward to going into much more detail in a future video on this specific topic, but for the purposes of this video, we will only be discussing free-to-play blockchain games. If you would like to see more of this type of content, you know what to do. We have to first take the token itself into consideration. What is the total number of tokens, and what percent of these are rewards from playing the game? A very high total supply means that the token will be very easy to obtain, while a lower total supply will usually imply the opposite. 1 billion seems to be a typical amount, but if a coin has a total supply of 5 billion, it would make sense that it is 1/5 as valuable and 5 times easier to obtain. This also means that there should be 5 times the demand for the token to progress in the game in order to balance out and not create overinflation. Next, we have token acquisition methods. Earning the token should be mostly done through playing the game. If the players are gaining tokens primarily through airdrops, friend referrals, random lotteries, creating content, moderating discords, etc., the game economy is going to crash and it is doomed. I'm beginning to suspect the developers knew that their game was doomed ahead of time because this is mostly present in games that are not very fun for me personally. I'm not saying these people shouldn't get paid for their help. I'm just saying that they should not be able to earn more through these methods than the actual players of the game earn. It should be more like extra credit and not their primary source of earning. Are you rewarded the token simply for playing the game as it was made to be played? Or is there a method of mining profit from the game with minimal interaction? I call this play to earn versus work to earn. In my opinion, a game should not make a player choose if they want to earn or have fun playing the game. These activities should be one and the same, and the only choice should be to invest the earnings back into more progress or take them as profits. I understand that nobody in the old version of your game would mine currency for 24 hours a day unless they were a bot, but when that is the easiest way to earn your token, people will refuse to play the game while simultaneously complaining about how boring the game is because they are working instead of playing, and it's not their fault. devs are not stupid. They know that if they make part of their game boring but required, people are more likely to pay the devs to skip it or somebody else to do it for them, but they are stuck in their old ways and habits of doing things, or they're just making blatant cash grabs before their game becomes so dead that not even the necromantic powers of the blockchain or Jesus himself can resurrect it. There are also individual or server-wide token earning limits that may be imposed. Some of these can be realistically hit or are just there to prevent fraud on a massive scale. I think that both of these should be required, but I would go one step further and place a limit on how much loot or currency a player can gain per day to further limit the earnings of bots who need not sleep, like in Dark Eden. It is important to know a game's auto features. Will you be controlling it all of the time you are playing, or will you be running it in the background 24 hours a day? Does controlling the game grant you significant advantage over the AFK system? How much time will you need to dedicate to the game to get the most out of it on a daily basis? I think the best system would be one that allows your character to grow while AFK, so you won't feel left behind players who are able to play all day, but only allow a player to earn while manually controlling it. For example, in Dim you can gain experience points while you grind monsters, but that will not directly allow you to earn. Earning usually comes from PKing other players or drops that you get from killing those monsters, but you cannot pick up those drops while you're AFK, which is a good balance in my opinion. Next we have time to earn. Many games will not allow you to start earning right out of the gate, but require you to invest a certain amount of time playing before being able to earn. This can be expressed in hours, days, or weeks, and is typically to prevent bots from exploiting the economy and can be altered without notice, often making it harder on players and bots alike. Purchasing an NFT for the game will usually bypass this phase, giving investors an early head start. A very important aspect is the cash versus token shop ratio. A high number means that the amount of advantage that can be gained from the cash shop far outweighs that which can be obtained from the token shop. This means that the premium currency can be purchased with cash is always going to be more important to the game than the token itself, and so the value of the token will always suffer negatively. If I'm going to spend $5 on a game and the cash shop gives me 10 times more of an advantage than purchasing $5 in tokens, I'm always going to buy from the devs instead of the players, and that cash shop ratio would be 10 to 1, or just 10. Devs take this a step further by forcing you to spend cash on some items because they're not even offered in the token shop. This hurts the Wemix economy because it is entirely bypassed for the majority of the in-game purchases. Ideally, a game would contain no cash shop at all. Devs would get paid based upon a reserved amount of tokens of the total supply that would be unlocked over time, and their value would be determined by the popularity and success of their game, as well as ongoing fees such as 5% on all transactions. This fee could then be reduced by players through investing their earnings to as low as 1%. Watching ads is another source of income that could be helpful to devs while giving free players limited boosts that would normally require tokens to purchase without granting them the tokens themselves because it is not watch to earn. Finally, we have bot defense. Please, for fuck's sakes, stop asking devs to add CAPTCHAs to their game. A CAPTCHA hasn't stopped a bot since AOL was popular, so just stop, okay? I'm serious, stop it. CAPTCHAs are annoying. I'm not robophobic, but I don't like being accused of not being a human being. And if you are going to accuse me of being a cold, calculated, soulless machine and demand that I demonstrate my humility whenever you say, you had better reward me for wasting my time, which is limited because I'm a human and not a bot. Apparently, we're all okay with being assumed bots until proven human. Screw that. I'm not a bot. I've never been a bot, and I don't plan on being a bot for at least another 55 years. And that's only if CD Projekt Red finally has all the bugs worked out by then. I'm talking about fundamental game design concepts and economic strategies that render botting useless. This is usually a combination of allowing players to have a superior advantage over bots through skill expression and PvP, a lack of work to earn, a long time to start earning, to detect botting before they can affect the economy, and an in-game report function that is reviewed by an actual human being, because nothing is worse at detecting bot behavior among humans than other robots. Okay, now I know that was a lot, but after covering each category, it should be a breeze to see how Dark Eden M measures up to games such as Mir 4 and Yulgang. Remember that all of these games are free to play to earn, and the categories we discuss are max tokens issued, real issued tokens, total player diluted market cap, and per player, play to earn or work to earn, time to earn, minting restrictions, AFK play, cash shop ratio, bot defense, and marketing. The total issuance of tokens for Mir 4 is 60 million Hydra, and DIM is 1 billion Debco, while Yulgang is 50 billion TIG. Of course, this doesn't tell the whole story, as when we take a deeper look, we can see that 83.33% of these Hydra tokens are available to be earned by players, and 16.67% are for DeFi services, leaving only 50 million Hydra to the players to earn. With TIG, we see that 19% is set aside for earning in Yulgang, 7% is the platform fee, and 74% is reserved for future games. So the real issuance is actually 9.3 billion for the players. But wait, there's more. Only 71% of that is devoted to play to earn, while 11% goes to marketing, 13% DeFi services such as staking, and 5% to the team. This leaves us with 6.6 billion TIG for Yulgang players. For DIM, we have 65% for players, or 650 million Debco, 18% for DeFi services, 5% for the team, and 7% for the platform, and 5% for marketing. In my opinion, the best way to measure these games' future value based upon their current popularity would be to take the current price of the token and multiply it by the amount of earnings for players to measure their potential future earnings. This comes out to be 295,750,000 Wemix worth of Debco, 4,620,000 Wemix worth of TIG, 180 million Wemix worth of Hydra. If we divide that value by the total number of wallets holding each token, which is our best estimation of current player bases, we would get 12,642 Wemix per player with Debco, 25 Wemix per player with TIG, and 2,842 Wemix per player with Hydra. If you're curious what it would be with 1 billion Draco, we would have 930 million Draco after the platform fees, for a total diluted value of 114,390,000 Wemix, or 118 Wemix per player. The reason I chose the Hydra coin to represent Mir 4 is because the Draco has all but been abandoned by the development team and left to the mercy of the bots using the Trinity algorithm and Hydra to balance the economy instead. If you're still earning with Dracos in 2022, you are probably doing it wrong. Watch my 3 market guides to learn more. Both Mir 4 and Yulgang are work to earn, and the primary use of their token is to power up your character, which is optional after the first week or so of playing. DIM has some work to earn elements, but they're limited to 30 minutes a day for free players or restricted to PvP areas. The other ways to earn are by completing quests and PvP. This makes botting much more efficient in Mir 4 and Yulgang in my opinion. There are some design flaws that make botting easier in DIM, but I'll get into that later on. All games have some form of minting restriction, but none are very effective in my opinion. Mir 4 allows you to mint 100 Draco per day with no limit on Hydra. This is foolish, as the limit was 100 Draco back when it was only 100,000 Darksteel to make a single Draco, and now it takes 4 times as much, which means the limit should be 25, but even that is far too high to prevent market manipulation by whales in my opinion. There is a game-wide limit of 1 million Draco that can be smelted per day. Yulgang allows you to smelt up to 3,000 TIG per day, which would be 1.8 million crystals and hardly possible to earn in a single day through legitimate means. DIM has a daily limit of 18 Debco, but they also limit how much you can actually earn of the in-game token to actually convert those Debco per week. I think the amount you can withdraw should not be more than the amount you could earn in a single day from playing the game. If you could win a massive amount in a single day from a weekly event or ranking reward, it could be divided up by 7 and added to that total daily limit. This limit could even be increased based upon the level of the character as they unlock more ways to earn. The cash shop ratio is terrible in all three of these games. Keep in mind, they were all developed as a free-to-play game with pay-to-advance mechanics. Some of these cash shop items have been switched over to using the token, but ideally, they would all require the token instead of a fiat currency. Mir 4 is the best of the worst in this category, as most of their cash shop items are for loot boxes. But the best ways to earn still require purchasing gold with fiat currency or trading items to other people who have and burning that gold, removing it from the economy instead of the token itself. Mir 4 also has Hydra Pay, which will allow you to directly purchase packs from the developers with your earnings instead of converting them to fiat, paying more fees. But they also have been out the longest and have had the longest to add items with updates to be purchased with their tokens. Yulgang seems very limited at first to mostly cosmetic and minor upgrades from the cash shop until you start advancing in the game and face paywalls and time gates across multiple systems. To be clear, a paywall is where a game does not give a free player a way to advance through the game by playing alone. Obviously, in a play-to-earn game, you could earn money and then use that money to bypass the paywall, but that is still a paywall nonetheless. Time gates are where you cannot progress until the server resets to complete daily activities unless you spend money, even though these are not done with tokens, but cash. And the cash doesn't go to other players, but the developers. Finally, Dim gives you everything without limits to cash players, while placing daily limits on the token shop and only selling a few items. They allow you to convert tokens to premium currency if another player is willing to buy them on the market, but you guessed it, first you have to buy an item with premium currency. I have not played a game since 2010 that placed an entire system behind a paywall. And that makes sense since this game is so fucking old, but nothing pisses players off more than when they have spent weeks playing a game to discover a system that they will never be able to utilize unless they pay in a free-to-play game. People feel extorted when that happens. The devs are saying to the players, nobody can earn in this game unless we earn first. I don't mean that they take a minor cut of your profits. I mean that for you to earn $10, someone else first has to pay the devs $10 to be able to pay you $10 whenever you want to earn. Quickly going over the AFK systems, Mir 4 is the only one with the work to earn while AFK. On the other hand, Yulgang and Dark Eden M have AFK systems to help you progress your character while you're not actually able to play the game. However, these systems will not cause you to continuously earn without playing the game, such as in Mir 4. Yulgang does have a time period where when you're offline, you'll get bonus experience whenever you log back in, and I believe it stacks up to 12 hours, so it's not setting players who can't play the game 24 hours a day that far behind those who can. Finally, we get to bot defense. After banning millions of bots and wrongfully banning hundreds of thousands of players' accounts mistakenly, it became clear to Mir 4 that they were going to have to attack the bots from an economic standpoint. Sure, they did the CAPTCHA thing and many other things that didn't solve the bot problem and only became a pain in real players' asses like everyone on Discord kept begging them to, but I swear those people are 12 and I wish they would stop listening to them. In fact, I see the same people every day on Discord and I'm starting to wonder if they're actually bots. Maybe it was the bots who started the rumor in the first place that bots couldn't read letters and numbers from another computer screen. And that is why everyone thinks a stupid CAPTCHA is a great idea. It's all lies, I tell you. My Rombot will pass your CAPTCHAs while it polishes my hardwood floor and serenades me with classical music. Yulgang is like Mir 4 but worse. They pushed the bots out of the mines and made them play the game before they could mine, which caused them to ruin all of the dungeons and the events for the real players. Then they put in a CAPTCHA because it is literally the easiest thing you can do to make it seem like you tried to solve the problem, but only for players that didn't spend money on the game. Dim awards the majority of their medals from completing quests in PvP areas or from killing other players. At a glance, this is one way to prevent bots by empowering the players, but there is nothing stopping a bot from having a Slayer and a vampire account and kill each other back and forth nonstop for free earnings all week. Their work to earn is limited, which is great, but playing to earn is very slow in this game. So slow that even in the late game, you're looking at maybe earning 3 to 4 Debco per week, compared to Mir 4's 21 to 28 Draco or Yulgang's 3,500 Tig. The problem here is that there is a wheel that players or bots could spin with their level 40 accounts where they can win 8 Debco in 1 second by hitting the jackpot. Seriously, this isn't play to win, it is spin to win. After playing the game for 2 weeks, I've been able to refine 1 Draco, and I probably spent another 2 on my upgrades. However, by spinning all of my earnings these past few days, I've been able to smelt 11 Debco instead of only 1. I would say that I just got lucky, but I didn't even hit the jackpot. It was just from progressive betting. If I hit the jackpot, my earnings would have doubled. So instead of playing the game to earn, you are playing the game to spin to earn. It is so stupid, but the bots freaking love it. I would call this gambling, but at least when you're gambling, the odds are clearly transparent. The best thing to combat the bots at this point that a game could do would be require a unique phone number to be associated with their account and a text be sent to verify their login to prevent bots from being able to run so many accounts at one time while restricting banned players much better than an IP address. The last part I want to talk about is bribery. Mir 4 had no airdrops to my knowledge. They had no major marketing campaigns until recently. They don't have a referral program. They legitimately grew their player base through word of mouth of a known IP, and that is one of the reasons why I believe it has stood the test of time for this long. Yulgang, on the other hand, gave out 50 TIG to players for an airdrop. They held events on launch, giving away drawings and promotions just for being active on Discord. My point is that people were involved not just to play a game or earn from playing, but because they were paid to do so. The dim airdrop was a single Debco, and so it didn't crash the economy on launch. However, they just recently started a bunch of events on Discord to try to give out more money to keep people playing, which is going to tank the price faster than the bots spinning those jackpots. Imagine spending 6 months on earning 100 Debco, while another player wins that all at one time because it's Tuesday. How can they give away so much of something that is so hard to get from actually playing the game? It's desperation, if you ask me. In conclusion, we are still a long way from a perfect play-to-earn game, one designed as a play-to-earn game from the ground up. One that doesn't need a cash shop at all, one that empowers players to help the devs defeat the bots instead of accusing them of being one constantly, one that doesn't reward you for doing what everyone else doesn't want to do, that is just pay to play or work to earn, that is not play and earn, and one that hasn't aged like spoiled milk. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can do this again sometime.
Commander, do you think that we have any chance of surviving?
Your counselor didn't ask me that question. I would ask him.
Why?
Because he's the one who believes in miracles.
I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.
Because nothing is worse at detecting bot behavior among humans than other robots.
Alert, alert, bot detection alert. Are you human?
Yes, oh yes, praise Jesus. I like having sex with other humans and eating cheeseburgers with other humans.
Apologies, sir, or ma'am, or not specified. Bot detection status is negative.